Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Hey, stop them! Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
What?
If you smile to your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile. If you
What's so funny?
just
Freak!
Gotham has lost its way. What kind of coward would do something that cold-blooded? Someone who hides behind a mask.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a comedy.
if you just smile.
What's going on, everybody? Does it look like I just woke up, watched the Joker trailer, and started filming this video? If you think that, it's totally true. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we finally got the trailer for Joker, which is the next movie by Joaquin Phoenix. And this is something a lot of people have been waiting for because nobody knows what to expect with this movie. I do want to point out right at the start that this is going to be more of my thoughts on this trailer opposed to a breakdown, because with this movie being totally different, like Marvel or DC have not done this before, people. This is not something that's in a connected universe. This is a character study movie. Some kind of movie that's just going into the mind of the Joker, that is going to take the idea of the character of the Joker and how he could have became the way he is. So unlike previous breakdown videos where you can be like, oh, this is so-and-so, this is Batman, this is an Easter egg. You can't really do that in this movie because there's not gonna be a Batman. There's not gonna be all this other stuff. You might see like child Bruce Wayne and stuff like that, but it's not gonna be anything that you can really pinpoint and then do Easter eggs. I'm pretty sure there will be a million videos like that on the internet, but this is a character study piece. This is just going to be a movie about the Joker and his just dive into insanity. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this trailer. And I have to say, my first thoughts, when obviously I had just woke up and watched it, and I was like, that was okay. But after my second viewing, right before I started filming this video, I was like, oh, okay, you can actually see the darkness that is going to start happening in this movie. There are just these little subtle tendencies that look like Joaquin Phoenix's character, Arthur, who will be the Joker, is about to break and just fall deeper and deeper into this insanity that is the Joker. And like I said before, Marvel or DC have never done anything like this. I know a lot of people will point to the Nolan films and be like, what about those, dude? Those were totally like realistic type movies. No, they really weren't. They were still superhero movies based in a realistic world, whereas this is nothing to do with the comic book stuff. Like, at least the Nolan films were still pulling characters from the actual comic books and doing things like this, whereas this Joker movie seems to be making a movie about the Joker, but not pulling in everything from continuity or from the comic books. Obviously, if you are a comic book fan, you notice that you didn't really see any other comic book characters in this actual trailer. And I have to say it's an interesting watch to see a comic book movie that isn't very comic booky, if that makes sense, because this thing they didn't throw any slapstick comedy at you, they didn't try to make you laugh or anything. No, this is going to be a dark, emotional movie. Again, I've said it already a million times in this video alone, that dives into the madness of the Joker. And obviously this is a DC movie, it's a superhero movie, so I'm going to be into watching this. But as somebody that loves films and somebody that wants to make films in the future, this is definitely something different for me and totally up my alley, because I like these kind of artsy films. I love character study type films and things that just explore different avenues. So I'm really, really excited to see where Joker goes with this. And I do have to admit, because if you've been watching me for a while, still somebody that did not want this film to happen. I was like, no, we don't need a freaking Joker movie. There's no point. I don't want a Joker origin. It makes no sense. I kind of still feel that way. Like, I still think this movie was completely unnecessary. But after I've had time to think about it, and I've actually had to see the trailer now, I do have to admit that I am excited to watch the movie. But at the same time, I'm excited to see that if this movie is a success somehow, it does look like DC is finally starting to get on the upward track of having successful movies, is what could this open up for DC in the future? Could we get other Elseworlds stories? Because this is supposed to be on another brand that is going to be in the DC bubble. So I'm going to be really interested to see if they'll do more things like this. Would we get a character study for the Scarecrow, or, you know, Killer Croc, or whatever? Would we get different movies like that? Or could we just get Elseworld stories like Red Sun, Gotham by Gaslight, Batman Noel? There's a bunch of different just stories you could make really cool. Thrill Killer, I'm really hoping that they make a movie about someday, because man, that is such an awesome Elseworld story. But you see what I'm saying? I'm hoping a movie like this Joker movie, this one that is so like just very character driven, is going to open doors to possibly get more creative stuff going on in superhero movies, because that's the great thing about comic books, is there's so many different genres, there's so many different things you can do with the same characters over and over if you wanted to. You just gotta not be scared, and I think DC, that's what they're trying to do, is Marvel's like, no, we can't do all these extra movies because our universe is so connected, people are gonna get confused, we don't want them to try to connect everything to different things, so let's just go ahead and keep it in this bubble. Where DC, they have to recast everybody right now. Everybody's being recasted. People are going to get confused. So for them, it's perfect just to start doing movies like this on the side of their connected universe, because then they can be a little bit more creative. WB Studios has always been a studio that has prided itself on letting people, you know, be who they are. I know the Snyder fans are going to come out of nowhere and be like, oh, they didn't let them do that with Snyder. So yes, I get that argument. But for the most part, they've always been very open to letting creators create. And I think they're going to let them play with these toys of the DC universe as well and start making movies like the Joker. So from my original thought of not wanting this Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, and then finally seeing the trailer and seeing photos over the last few months, it has definitely changed my mind, and I am excited and open to the idea of watching this movie. So what we get from this trailer is that Arthur seems to be one of those troubled people, right? Somebody that wants to do something. Maybe that somebody was cradled by their parents a lot, and it does seem like he's caring for his mother now, depending on how you want to view this, because there are scenes in here where it looks like he's caring for his mother, but did he have a good relationship with his mother? Was she like very abusive or something like that, and now he's just caring for her in a sadistic way? Like, I don't know, that's how I've seen some of this. After I've watched the trailer a few times, I'm like, is he already going mad here? Or is like, this is how he was treated, this is how he's always been? Has he always been like awkward? Because that is these kind of questions that you're asking when you're watching this. Like, it's kind of hard to see when he was pre-Joker and then diving into the Joker, you know what I mean? That's always been the crazy thing about the Joker, is you never really know when he went crazy. Like I was saying, Arthur does seem like he is a troubled person. Maybe he's somebody that gets picked on a lot. In this trailer, we see him get picked on a lot. So I want to say that has been a big part of his life. That's going to be part of his breaking point. And it seems like he is getting some therapy, possibly at the Arkham Hospital that they do show in here. We do have this little smile fest going on right here between Joaquin Phoenix's character and Zazie Beetz' character. And I'm going to be interested to see if that is going to dive into you know, the craziness of the Joker. Does she like cheat on him, or are they a love interest? Does she break his heart somehow, betray him, and then that makes him jump even farther into the character? Either way, we know Arthur is going to go through some shit, and it is eventually going to get him to the point of breaking. And I have to say, the way the trailer actually shows this is pretty awesome, because we see him with the clown paint and everything, right? We see that throughout the whole trailer. He's even getting hit with stuff. People are beating him up. People are calling him a freak. He's crying. He's getting beat up. We see that. And then when it finally gets to the Joker part, where he's changed the suit, where he has a different thing, where he's smoking, you can just feel the vibe is so different. And I have to say, just being able to feel that from the trailer, or just being able to see that, it's kind of awesome, because that's kind of how the Joker comes off. And the one thing I've noticed, that I don't know if Joaquin Phoenix did this intentionally, I don't know how much, you know, he actually observed the character, read about the character, or whatever, but the Joker does have this tendency of to be real serious at times. Like, he's just, you know, mean mugging you or whatever. He's like really mad, and he just instantly goes happy. And there's been like little instances of that in this trailer. And just at the end, when he's just walking through the hallway just as a badass Joker, he just looks crazy. I mean, you could say he's badass or whatever, but he's just walking through a hallway. He just seems just awesome, in my opinion. And then at the end of the trailer, you see that little smirk of his, which I just think is really awesome. And I think this is going to be one of those movies that we're going to be able to dissect, or just really look into and be like, can you believe that happened? Can you believe they did this? Like, it was an interesting character thing. But I feel like this is one of those movies that you're going to be able to talk about for a long time, but not in a way like, oh man, that warehouse scene was amazing. No, this is going to be something that you're going to really look into the characters instead of the awesome action scenes that happen. And I'm really excited about that, because I don't know, I mean, I might have mentioned it on this channel before or in live streams, but right now in my viewing spectrum, the things I'm really interested in watching right now in the comic book realm are things that are not DC and Marvel. There are a lot of amazing shows that are on TV right now, like Deadly Class, Happy, you know, I mean, Doom Patrol is DC, but that is really a good show as well. But I'm interested in watching different things outside of DC and Marvel right now. I've started watching The Walking Dead again. I thought that's gotten really good again. It fell off for a while, back to being good in my opinion. But the thing I've noticed about those shows is they dive more into the characters, opposed to like relying on the just lore and aspect of just like, oh, we got superpowers, let's do super fights. Like, no, I want to do more. I want more character development. I want to do stuff like that, because I think those are the best shows. Those are some of the best pieces of art out there. And if we're going to get a superhero movie that could do that, that could make you think on the lines of, like, I hate throwing it out there because everybody's going to be like, this could be an Oscar award-winning movie. I hate doing that every time, but if you can put a movie like this, if this movie, The Joker, could actually be up there with those kind of character pieces that do win Oscars every year, I think that would be really awesome. And I would hope that it could win on its own, or win some type of awards for being that, you know, a deep of a story, opposed to just being like, this is the Joker, it's gonna make money. So if anything comes from these films, I hope it's that the rest of the industry that does hate comic book movies actually realizes that these characters do have these in-depth crazy stories to tell. You just gotta actually give them a chance. So like I said at the start of this video, this was gonna be more of a thoughts, or like a ramble session about this trailer, because there's not really much for you to break down. Again, people are gonna try to break this trailer down, and they're gonna say there's a bunch of Easter eggs and stuff like that, but you shouldn't be going into this movie like that. If you're expecting to see a bunch of Batman stuff, a bunch of DC Universe Easter eggs and stuff like that, you really shouldn't be, because that's not what Todd Phillips set out to make with this movie. So after this trailer, I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. Just as a comic book fan, as a lover of cinema, I think this is going to be really interesting. On top of that, that whole thing where he puts the fingers in the mouth and he like does that is really creepy and really interesting at the same time, because, you know, it's forcing a smile onto a character. And yeah, I don't know. This movie is going to have a lot of those little things that you're just going to be like, what? At least that's how I feel about it. But I want to know what you guys think about this Joker trailer in the comment sections down below. I can already call that there's going to be like 5 to 10 comments saying that Jerome is better in Gotham than Joaquin Phoenix is in this trailer. But, you know, I guess. Side note, that was a joke, but I totally know those comments are about to happen. At the same time, if you do genuinely think that, that's 100% fine. You can like that. But if you think that Gotham is a better show, better product than the Joker movie that's going to come out here, which is actual cinema, I have to believe that you care more about fandoms than actually good works of art. Anyways, that comment's going to get me a few dislikes, but I have plenty of other content you can watch that you might be able to dislike right here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any bat-tastic content that is happening on this channel. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Juice Wayne. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. That's the old intro, but Batman is awesome. See you guys next time. Bam! New and improved wheel spin, ladies and gentlemen.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out, no.
Yes!
Was it your plan?
And new Intercontinental Champion, baby!
You bring everything.
We finally got it! We finally got it in here!
Burning, you tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I want
Bro!
of you brings the fire in me, makes me wanna move.
Try this out. Get out of here!
In my eyes, feel your hands
Oh!
on mine. Tonight we're free.
Woo! We did it, bitches! We fucking did it! Yes!